Alright, so I'm going to do a quick team builder for Joey's team. So, the thing about this is that this is week 7. I am 3-3 right now. Joey's 6-0. He has clinched playoffs, so he doesn't really need this win. I need, I think, 2 wins to clinch playoffs. I think he clinched playoffs last week, but yeah, I'm pretty sure you need 6 wins to guarantee playoffs, but I'm pretty sure 5 wins is going to be enough to get playoffs. I have pretty good differential because the games that I've lost 1-0, and the games that I've won with better differential than 1-0. So, I am pretty well positioned into playoffs. So, anyways, quick team rundown. Plasmavist, knockoff, close combat, Volswitch. This could be Brick Break. I have enough speed to outspeed Noivern, Adamant, and then put the rest in, whatever. Banded is good because it does so much damage to everything on his team. It can Oko Slowbro. This can Oko Noivern with a little bit of HP investment too. This knockoff's decent at eliminating heavy duty boots. Close combat is for Sigilyph and Extral. And then Volt Switch is for momentum when I don't want to lock myself into Plasma Fist and stay in. Then I have Curse, Rest, Facade, Body Press, Max Defense, Snorlax. This set nearly beat Joey the first time that he used Snorlax, so I decided to bring it again. He does have 2 Switcheroo options on his team, but I don't really care because if he's using Switcheroo to deal with Snorlax, then that means he's not using Switcheroo to deal with Zeraora. And by that I mean, once he clicks Switcheroo, he doesn't have Choice Scarf anymore to outspeed Zeraora. I have Gourgeist, Spin Blocker. This is the bulk that I'm running. Protect, Leech Seed, Poltergeist, Will-O-Wisp. Leech Seed plus Will-O-Wisp ensures that Slowbro is handled very well, even if I knock off its item. What else? Will-O-Wisp is really decent against his physical attackers outside of Darmanitan. Poltergeist does a ton of damage to Darmanitan on the switch if he wants to bring it in. Leech Seed is nice for not only recovery inside of sand and hail, but it's also good at pressuring him to switching out. And if he wants to use Shadow Sweepers, this will deter him from doing that. Qwilfish with a Shuka Berry, I really don't. I don't know, dude. I don't know what this Pokemon's doing. So Liquidation, Knocker, Spikes, Toxic, Max Attack, a lot of bulk. I could have just, I don't know. This is a weird Pokemon, but Sugar Berry so that if he wants to get cocky with extra, I can bring this in. And if he wants to click Swords Dance on it, then he's going to die to Liquidation. And if he doesn't click Swords Dance on it, just clicks Earthquake, then I'm going to be able to live and knock it out with that. Toxic is for Slowbro on the Switch, Noivern on the Switch, just a bunch of Pokemon that just want to be able to recover. He has 3 Pokemon with decent options with recovery in Noivern, Slowbro, and Sylveon, so hitting them with Toxic is pretty good. Then I have Krookodile, Knockoff, Protect, Earthquake, Stealth Rock. Protect is good. I have Protect on this and this because it's like, because I have Zeraora, he wants to run Choice Pokemon. So running Protect to combat those Choice Pokemon is really good. I have decent switch-ins to Darmanitan Choice and Noivern Choice, so I have those options covered. This could be Toxic, but I'm not really too worried about that. This could be Foul Play. I'm not too worried about that. Knockoff plus Poltergeist does have anti-synergy because I have knockoff on the Zeraora as well, but I don't really think I'm going to be clicking knockoff that often with Krookodile anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. I do have to pay attention to it though. It's not something that I can overlook because that is game losing if I click Poltergeist on the Slowbro that's knocked off, or on Noivern or something like that. Yeah, so this is the EV spread. Then my last Pokemon is Sigilyph, Life Orb, Calm Mind, Psyshock, Energy Ball, Roost. This actually deals with everything on his team. Gigalith gets 3 hit KO'd, Sylveon gets 2 hit KO'd, Slowbro gets 1 hit KO'd, Noivern gets 2 hit KO'd. Everything gets 2 hit KO'd by this Pokemon. I could have Cosmic Power, but Sylveon Calm Mind is a problem, so I decided to go with Calm Mind there. So that is my team. I'll be going with the battle shortly. Alright, what is up everybody? So this is going to be the post-com of this battle. The audio for the live com got scuffed. I will upload that unlisted if you guys want to watch the live version of that, but like it's really bad. So anyways, I am thinking of leading Zeraora or Gourgeist here. So the reason I don't lead Zeraora here is because if he does lead out with the Noivern and it is Frisk, then he knows that I'm banded and he doesn't have to think about my item, think about my spread later on in the game. If time is a resource in 10-minute Wi-Fi battles and I cannot allow him to not utilize that resource or not give them that advantage early on in the game, right? So if he has to calc it, he's going to waste time doing the calc, it's going to use up more brain power, stuff like that. So I decided to lead out the Gourgeist. The reason I lead Gourgeist is because he will likely lead out with the Pokemon that is Scarfed, or he'll lead out with the Noivern. If he leads out with the Noivern and I lead out with Zeraora, like I said, he's going to know that I'm banded, and I don't want that to happen. I want to hit him with a move first, force him to calc it, and then go on from there, especially as well as the fact that I could surprise him with a move that he doesn't know. So, for example, banded Zeraora has a chance to knock out Noivern at full if it's not running any HP investment. And if he knew that I was banded, he would know that that happened, so he would be prepared for it. So I could get one surprise kill, as well as the fact that he would also have to calc the damage later on as well. And he'll know that I'm not bulk up or Calm Mind or anything like that later on as well. So lead out with Gourgeist, so if he leads out with Darmanitan or something like that, a Choice Guard Pokemon, I'll be able to see its item. If it wants to go for a U-turn, I can click Protect. I have Protect on it. So I can just click Protect and I won't have to be worried about that Darmanitan, obviously, because if it goes for a U-turn, I can just click Lead Seed or something like that and be in a pretty decent position going forward, because from the Lead Seed, I'll be able to heal up to full with leftovers, with Protect, obviously. And I'll do a little bit of chip to whatever wants to come in. So I lead out with Gourgeist. He is going to lead out with the Vanillux there, and I'm going to be able to Frisk. He gets the Snore Warning off. This is so long, man. Holy crap. So I Frisk his Choice Scarf, so I know it is Choice Scarf. I could click Protect here, but I don't want to reveal it right now. So I am thinking about protecting, and I'm just like, it's not really worth it. So I'm going to switch out into my Snorlax. It is kind of annoying that I have to bring in Snorlax on Hail, but it's not that big of a deal. So I was thinking that he might want to double switch. So I was actually thinking about protecting there, but it's too early to make a play like that. So I decided to go into Snorlax. It is thick fat, it is max HP. It doesn't have much special and defense investment, but that is because I'm running Body Press with Curse, so that I can maximize the damage output of Body Press, as well as take on Darmanitan a little bit better because I do have the thick fat ability. And he is going to click Blizzard. That does a pitiful amount of damage, but obviously it is max special attack because it did a decent amount of damage for Vanillux, obviously. So here I'm just going to click the Body Press. Now, the way that he maneuvers is pretty good here, because I can't do any chip damage to the Vanillux or the Sigilyph with the opposing weather, obviously, because they reset the weather. So whenever he uses Sigilyph or he uses Vanillux, he's going to be able to maximize his weather, which is pretty good for him. I go for Body Press here, and I get a decent damage roll here. So it's a little bit above 25%. So I'm thinking that he's not max defense at this point, because max, like I was thinking that it would do around 20%. So that does a little bit more than 25. So I'm thinking it's not max defense, but it actually is, because max defense has a roll for 25%. So here I'm going to switch out to Krookodile. I know that he's going to likely want to go for Stealth Rock, or he's going to want to go for the Body Press here. And if he wants to go for something like Iron Defense, I do definitely want to go into my Krookodile immediately to see if he has the Iron Defense. I don't want to just stay in and attack it with Snorlax and do a pitiful amount of damage, as it does go for Iron Defense. So I want to be able to get up my rocks immediately, because if the Darmanitan is heavy duty boots, I don't mind that, because then at that point Sigilyph is going to be able to outspeed. I know my Zeraora is also going to be able to outspeed. So he's going to go for rocks there, and I'm going to pay the favor this very next turn. And the problem here is that he already got up his rocks, and he has a Choice Scarfed Pokemon that he's going to want to bring in right here, which is Blood. I don't understand his nicknames either. He has the same nicknames for like on half of his team. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Anyways, so I go for Stealth Rock here, and I rocks up. I know that this thing is going to take rocks damage now, so that is really, really good. However, Snorlax already took about a quarter of its health. So if I bring it in here, it's going to take a little bit more than a quarter because of the rocks damage. And I'm not healing with leftovers because he's recycling hail and sandstorm turns every time he brings in Gigalith and Vanilluxe. So they're always going to be doing 6% damage to me, which is really good for him, obviously. And it's not really good for me because he's not taking any chip from the hazards. So I'm going to click Protect here just in case he wants to double, expecting my Snorlax to come in. But he just opts to go for the Blizzard there, which is fine. I was thinking about PP stalling the Blizzards with Protect because I Protect on Gourgeist and I Protect on Krookodile. And if it clicks Freeze Dry on Snorlax, it's going to do so much less damage than Blizzard does. It's going to do like 5 to 6% less. But I figured that it wasn't really going to be that important anyway, especially since I can just rest on the Vanilluxe anyway. And he is not going to be able to pressure me as hard as long as I got it rocks on his side of the field as well. And I'm running leftovers on a lot of my Pokemon, and I don't think with the way that his team is built, he can run leftovers on his Pokemon. Obviously, I know that the Gigalith is running leftovers, but I feel like based on the team that he brought, the only other Pokemon on his team that can be leftovers would be the Kangaskhan. So he goes for Blizzard there, and I'm about half HP. I'm at about half. And I'm just going to click Body Press here again. I want to bring the Gigalith down a little bit lower, just so that my Sigilyph will be able to 2-hit KO it. At this point, if I hit the Gigalith with the move, it's going to heal outside of range with leftovers, even if with rocks damage, if I click Energy Ball with my Sigilyph on the Gigalith, because of the sand boosting its special defense. So I won't be able to 2-hit KO it with Energy Ball, even though I am nearly max special attack timid. So he brings in the Gigalith again, and I'm just gonna Body Press, try to do as much damage as possible to this thing. It's just not enough damage. It's just not enough damage. And Curse, Rock Blast, Iron Defense, anything like that, I don't really mind. I'm gonna go out into Qwilfish here. I do have the Shuka Berry. If he wants to go for Stone Edge, that is fine because I do have the Intimidate. Unless he gets a crit, it's whatever. But that's if he's running Stone Edge as well. He might not even be running Stone Edge because I could be running something like Substitute on Gyarados, and he would want to use Rock Blast to be able to deal with that instead of Stone Edge. So I go out to Qwilfish here, take Sand, take Stealth Rock, and I'm gonna take the attack likely unless he goes for Toxic. So he goes for Body Press here. Now the thing here is that I could click Spikes here. Now Spikes allows me to put a little bit more pressure on his team, because with Spikes up, I guarantee that I do a little bit more damage to the Extra, obviously, which puts obviously more pressure on it. But I didn't want to get defogged with his Noivern. I don't know his Noivern moveset yet. He hasn't brought it in, and his Extra could pressure my Gourgeist with Toxic or something like that, so I might not be able to spin block properly with the Gourgeist. So he's gonna switch out and go out into his Vanilluxe here. Now the thing is, I could go with Liquidation here and I would have been able to 2-hit KO it, but I thought that he would actually go out into his Noivern here on a Liquidation or Scald or something like that instead of going out to his Vanilluxe. But he goes out to Vanilluxe here. Liquidation plus Aqua Jet has a decent chance to KO the Vanilluxe. Because Liquidation does around 50% and Aqua Jet does... Liquidation does slightly above 50% and Aqua Jet does slightly below 25%. So there was a chance of me knocking it out after it took 25 from rocks, but I'm not sure of the exact roll on that, but there's a decent chance of that happening. But yeah, I'm just going to go out to Snorlax here. I click Toxic. Toxic is a little bit more reliable in dealing with this Vanilluxe, obviously, because I can just go out to Snorlax as he clicks Blizzard here, and he gets the freeze, unfortunately. So this is pretty big because it doesn't allow, like, I would just be able to rest here. It's a decent roll for him to knock me out here with Blizzard, but he can only knock me out with the hail damage. That's the only way he knocks me out, or with a crit. So I'm just praying. I'm just praying for the thaw here, and lo and behold, I get it. I get it. Just kidding. I don't get it. I don't get it. So I lose the Snorlax here, but Snorlax was a pretty good answer to his Noivern, and it would have allowed me to deal with the Darmanitan a little bit better, because I do have Thick Fat, and if he is running Superpower, he's gonna lower his attack and defense clicking Superpower, and if his Darmanitan ever clicks Flare Blitz, it's gonna take a ton of recoil damage against my Snorlax. He's gonna knock me out with Blizzard. He has like 2 Blizzards left or something. He's used like 4 Blizzards, so he has 4 Blizzards left probably. Down goes my Snorlax. It's a crit there, it doesn't matter. And now I go out into Qwilfish. Qwilfish can knock this thing out with Aqua Jet. Alternatively, I could have clicked Protect with Gourgeist or Krookodile, but I don't want those Pokemon out, even though they do have leftovers. I don't want those Pokemon out against his very next Pokemon. So I'm going to go out to Qwilfish here, and I'm going to click Aqua Jet, because he... The thing is, at least... If I go Gourgeist, he might think I have Shadow Sneak, right? But if I go Qwilfish, he might think that I could live this hit, and just go for a last ditch Blister. I don't want him switching, so I decided to go for Aqua Jet here. I don't want him switching. If I go Gourgeist, he might switch. If I go Krookodile, he might switch. He knows that my Krookodile is leftovers because I clicked Stealth Rock and then clicked Protect. Well, he knows that my Krookodile is not Scarf because I clicked Stealth Rock and not Protect. So he knows that his Vanillix is going to be able to outspeed me. Alright, so here we go. Qwilfish is pretty low now. It is not going to be able to do too much. Sugar Berry is not going to allow it to live any hit now. He brings in Child Emperor. I go out into Krookodile, thinking... Here's my thought process. Intimidate Kangaskhan. It's not going to do as much damage. If it's set up, I can knock it off and then start Will-O-Wisp or Leech Seed it. So it's fine. Crunch is not going to do that much damage, especially with Intimidate. So I go out into Toph here against the Child Emperor. Intimidate. Boom. It's kind of weird how I randomize the natures of these Pokemon, and it's actually female. So Scrappy dodges, yeah, it dodges Intimidate. So that was really bad for me. That was really bad. So here I'm just gonna click Protect here. If he switches out, I can just click Protect again. I know that Darmanitan is likely not gonna be able to knock me out because I'm max defense. And holy crap, dude, that does a lot of damage. I thought it was banded. I calced it. It was hard to calc it because the Intimidate, I don't know how Intimidate works on the calc, because sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work, but this time I didn't want it to work. Anyways, he's going to be faster than me for sure because I don't have a lot of speed investment on this. I have like 40 speed. So I'm just going to go for Earthquake here, hoping that with Double Edge Recoil and Earthquake damage, it's going to be able to knock it out. So at this point, Foul Play would have been a little bit better than Knockoff. Knockoff does have anti-synergy with my team because of me running Poltergeist on my Gourgeist. Alright. Protect leftovers, heal a little bit of HP. Boom. 114 out of 196. I don't want to click Knockoff because I still don't know what type of item it is. I don't want him to be like banded and I knock off his item and then he can switch out moves now. Like, I don't want him to be able to click Sucker Punch later. So, Double Edge, I click Earthquake, and it like Foul Play would have been so good here, obviously, but I don't have it, and Foul Play is so good against it with a defensive Pokemon like Krookodile because like Earthquake does a lot of damage, but like Foul Play would have just attacked his physical attackers, which would have been nice. As well as it deals with Air Balloon extra really well, because if he wants to set up, then he's gonna die, because you can take a knockoff, but you can't take a Foul Play if you set up, especially if you set up a Swords Dance. So I'm gonna click Protect here just to get a little bit more leftovers recoil or leftovers recovery, and I'm gonna switch out into Gourgeist. It's unlikely that he goes for the Crunch here, obviously. He could go for the fighting move, but I think Ghost types resist fighting with Scrappy. I don't know how that works. I don't know. I actually don't. They probably don't, but whatever. I go out into my Gourgeist. The thing about Gourgeist, I figured that damage on the Gourgeist is it sucks for extra, but Darmanitan, getting the Intimidate off on that is good. Getting the Intimidate off on the extra is good. So like I lose a little bit of HP, like a little bit. I lose half HP on Gourgeist, but I save an Intimidate Pokemon and I save a sack. So I have an extra Pokemon still. So I think it's an even score, or maybe I'm up 1, but more of my team is has taken damage. So he goes on to his Frisk Bang, and he sees that I have leftovers, which is fine. So here I'm just gonna click Protect. There's really not much this can do in regards to setup that really threatens me, especially with the team composition that I have. If he's like Dragon Dance, then he doesn't like it doesn't have the greatest attack stat, and its dragon moves are pretty bad anyway. It's not like this is a Dragapult where it can click Dragon Darts. It has to click like Outrage or the Dragon Crush thing, Dragon Rush. I don't even know what dragon moves it gets. I know it gets Outrage. So I'm just gonna switch out into my Zeraora here, as he is going to click Hurricane. Hurricane is actually pretty strong, but Noivern has less than 100 special attack, so I don't really mind this damage that I'm going to take. 143. Yeah, it doesn't do that much damage. Also, the damage on Zeraora doesn't really matter that much, because the only moves that I can really take is this Noivern, so I mean that's fine. So here I'm just going to click Plasma Fist. The unfortunate thing here is that even though we both have Rocks up, he has Heavy Duty Boots on his Noivern. Now the thing here is that if I get the kill on this Pokemon here with Plasma Fist, it helps me out a little bit, because I can go into Krookodile. If you click Swords Dance, then he's only at +1. If I go into my Gourgeist immediately, I'm not going to be able to take a plus. I'm not going to be able to take an Earthquake plus an Iron Head. But if I go out into Krookodile, not only can I stall out a turn with Protect, I can also stall out another turn by letting it die. So I'm going to switch here, because I figured that he might want to switch out to X-Drill. And I was hoping that he was at below 25 or below 12%, so that it would die upon coming in, so that it doesn't reset the Sandstorm. But I don't think it did enough damage. I first the leftovers. It doesn't really matter there. And boom, Genos comes in. Genos the X-Drill. All right, so here I'm going to click Will-O-Wisp. It's unlikely that he goes out into Darmanitan here. I could have clicked Leech Seed to do a little bit more damage to the Noivern overall, but getting the permanent damage with Will-O-Wisp on this or on Noivern would be really, really good for me. So yeah, I do decide to go for the Will-O-Wisp. If he goes for Darmanitan, that's really good for him, but luckily for me, he doesn't. And with Will-O-Wisp and Sand, he's going to take 12% here. And with the 12% damage, it guarantees me knocking Noivern out with Plasma Fist, even if he's running a little bit of HP bulk. So that is knowledge that I have saved in the back. So this burn is really good, because, like I said, I need to be able to OHKO this Noivern without taking any damage with my Zeraora, right? Yeah. And here I'm just gonna click Protect so that I can get another 25% damage off. But Joey's too good for this. He knows I can't do anything about this Darmanitan. However, what is key here is that he takes the Stealth Rock damage, so that I know exactly what this Darmanitan is capable of. I know exactly what he's capable of. It's likely going to be choiced. So I click Protect there, and he takes a little bit of sand chip. Takes a little bit of sand chip there. No big deal. No big deal. And I think there should be 1 or 2 more turns of sand, and I check it right here. I'm checking sand. I'm checking it. I'm checking it. And I don't know how to check it. I see it there. I see it there. 1 out of 5 turns remaining. So I'm going to click protect here again to get a little bit more leftovers recovery. Big, huge, huge. Getting the leftovers there. He clicks Zen Headbutt there. So the thing about Zen Headbutt there, the fact that he clicked it, knowing that I have Gourgeist here still alive, and a Krookodile, I know that he's not choice because there's no way you click that move. You can just click Flare Blitz and just deal as much damage as possible. So I'm gonna switch here into Krookodile. I'm just gonna sack it at this point because I feel like getting the Intimidate off is gonna be pretty essential. And I just Gourgeist at least can spin block still, so if I do set up a spike, I can spin block against the extra. Bring out the Krookodile here. Get the Intimidate on the Darmanitan. And he clicks Zen Headbutt again. So here I'm just hoping that he's still choiced. And like he clicks Zen Headbutt twice. Like it doesn't make sense to me. Like why would you click Zen Headbutt if you're choiced? There's no way you click it. You always click Flare Blitz because at that point you're making like a hard raid on Qwilfish. Qwilfish is gonna die to 2 Flare Blitz, so it doesn't really matter. It might even just die to 1 because I took so much damage already. So I get the Intimidate off. He goes for Flare Blitz here. Boom. Flare Blitz. -1 Flare Blitz. He's dead. Krookodile is dead. I didn't want to go for a protect there because of the extra recoil. Or extra... I thought he would switch out there just in case it wasn't choice. And here I'm thinking, how much damage is my Sigilyph going to do this? So I calculate this real quickly. It does 65 to 80% with Psyshock. So if he's running speed, if he's running a lot of speed, he never lives this, right? If he's running little speed, then he shouldn't feel confident enough to outspeed my Krookodile, I think. So I'm going to go out to Sigilyph here. And I calculate Psyshock. Like even if he's running bulk, I have to get a really low roll with him running bulk to die to this. And it's already at -1. So there's also that. Then he also has to hit a move with Noivern. But the thing is, what happens next? You'll never believe what happens next. Error code. GG. So replaying that on Wi-Fi, the damage rolls on the Snorlax, the freeze on the Snorlax, all of that is pretty much impossible. We had to do this multiple times on Showdown, and it was still tilting. So I'm going to bring it to Showdown now. So off we go to PokemonShowdown.com. So here we go. Krookodile is dead to the Darmanitan. I calced the Sigilyph, and I know that I can kill this thing. So I click Psyshock, and I am able to knock out the Darmanitan. And now he goes out into the Gigalith here. And I'm thinking about this turn for a little bit. So if I click Energy Ball here, then he gets 4 turns of him utilizing Excadrill, which could be pretty bad. If I switched out into Gourgeist or Qwilfish, then he has a chance to knock out my Qwilfish. But my Qwilfish has a move that can hit his Excadrill, right? My Qwilfish can hit his Excadrill with Aqua Jet. Meanwhile, I have to click Energy Ball with my Sigilyph to deal damage to it, which I guess 2 Energy Balls does pretty much the same thing as an Energy Ball plus an Aqua Jet, but I also waste sand turns. I don't know. So the thing is, Qwilfish could have lived the move from this thing here. So there's the option of me clicking, like I could have had Cosmic Power here, and that would have probably won me the game because Cosmic Power into Roost ensures that I beat Excadrill one-on-one. Because Excadrill has literally 1 turn of outspeeding me in sand. Because when there's 4 turns of sand left, I Cosmic Power, then I Roost, then there's 3 turns of sand left. Then he has to click Swords Dance, and then there's 1 turn of sand left. But yeah, and his Gigalith dies to Energy Ball, or dies to Rocks. So like I had the option of switching out here, but I decided to go with the Energy Ball because I figured that I would just go for the Energy Ball immediately against the Excadrill, because there's no way that you bring in the Noivern here, because then you're wasting the sand turns. So here I just opt to go for the Energy Ball against the Excadrill. Boom, hit him with the Energy Ball, get a critical hit there, which is actually pretty important. This Energy Ball critical hit ensures that he can't really bring in the Excadrill that often. The Excadrill already died to knockoff, but with this he has less opportunities to make plays with his Excadrill, especially if I like Leech Seed it. Then after like a Leech Seed, he can't like repeatedly click Swords Dance or something like that. He has to attack me. And this critical hit, I think Aqua Jet still knocks us out, but this critical hit is pretty much just for him not being able to bring in the Excadrill multiple times, especially if I get up spikes. So I get the critical hit there. He lands the Rock Slides. Down goes my Sigilyph. I guess I could have switched there, but I don't know. Maybe it wasn't that big of a deal. So I'm going to go out to Qwilfish here, and he knows that I have Aqua Jet, but this thing is already burned. So I just click Aqua Jet here, and at this point I'm just like, I just have to keep this at around 50%, and then Knockoff's going to be able to knock this out. So I just go for a Liquidation here. Boom. 17%, boom, got the 17, and I'm just gonna click Aqua Jet here, bring him down to 69. Nice, 69. My Qwilfish dodges the Hurricane, right? A little bit of revenge for the freeze there, but I also got a crit, so I don't know. But he is also having to click Hurricane, so I click Spike there, and I'm just gonna click Aqua Jet here again on the Noivern, as I dodge another Hurricane. So that is 2 dodges on my part, which is whatever. I'm thinking that I can just knock this thing out with Plasma Fist anyway, so it's not that big of a deal, especially since like if he switches out to Excadrill, that's unfortunate, but he can't spin with Excadrill, so it's not that big of a deal. I get a defense drop here. I didn't even pay this any mind. I just click Aqua Jet. I just figured it just lets me do more damage with Aqua Jet. So, so like I said, I didn't really pay attention to the defense drop, and I go with Zeraora here. I eat a Hurricane, but the thing is, I didn't even click Knockoff here. I clicked Plasma Fist. I didn't realize that I could have just clicked Knockoff and knocked it out, and then he goes out to Noivern. So he Swords Dances there. As he, I mean, I guess it was pretty good for me. Like, he had to double switch there. But with the Spike Sub, he can't really double switch that often. So I click Leech Seed, he dodges it. But I click Protect here to get a little bit more leftovers recovery. And I'm just going to click Leech Seed again on his Excadrill. And with this Leech Seed, it ensures that the Excadrill dies to the Spike and the Stealth Rock. So he cannot double switch here. Well, he does double switch here, but it doesn't matter, because he is dead to hazards now. Because that critical hit now actually matters a whole lot that I got on the Excadrill. Because now the Excadrill can't come in anymore. But if I just click Knockoff, that would have just sealed the deal. But like I said, I wasn't paying attention. That was a bad play. I should have clicked Knockoff. So I click Poltergeist there, and it ensures that it puts it in range of Plasma Fist. And I just double check to make sure that the the X-Drill is not above 12%, and I do have spikes up. I click Plasma Fist to ensure that the X-Drill is not dead. The X-Drill is definitely dead to the hazards, and it is. So the thing is, his Noivern was actually super bulky. It actually didn't have much special attack. I didn't calc the Noivern at all. I could have calced it and realized that, but I didn't. The other thing is that I don't know, this end game, the only thing that I feel like I messed up on was the knockoff play, because if I click knockoff, I would have killed the Ezreal. Then he brings in the Noivern. Do I stay in there? I don't know if I can stay in there. I think Hurricane does less than 33% to my Zeraora. Let me scroll up a little bit to see how much damage it actually did last time. Because it is running no special attack, but Hurricane's actually pretty powerful. Because I definitely took a Hurricane with my Zeraora earlier. Yeah, it does 26% to my Zeraora, so I would have been able to knock it out with Plasma Fist. So, yeah, knocking off there was 100% the play, because I didn't know his Noivern set, but yeah, I mean, I didn't know his Noivern set, so maybe I wouldn't have done that play. But I got lucky in the end, but he got pretty lucky in the beginning by freezing my Snorlax. He pressured my team very well with the Vanillux. Once Snorlax died, like, Kangaskhan doesn't do the same amount of damage to my team if Snorlax is still alive. The Darmanitan doesn't do the same amount of damage to my team if Snorlax is alive. X-Drill doesn't do, etc, etc. Like, Snorlax, like, even if it is sleeping, it's still pretty good for me, because at that point I'm only going to be sleeping for one turn, and then he tries to pressure me with Darmanitan. But that I'm just like, this is the way the game happened, so like there's nothing really that I can do about it. So I'm 4-3 right now with +8 differential, so that's pretty decent in terms of the playoff race. I'm pretty sure that I only need one more win to guarantee playoffs because of my differential. And like I said, like, this isn't the team that is optimized against Joey. I just have like a couple decent sets, and I know that Joey isn't gonna go too hard against me either, because he's already clinched playoffs. So, like, this was pretty much a throwaway battle for both of us, but it's really good for me that I won this, because it ensures that I have a little bit more leeway in the rest of my 3 games. I pretty much only have to win 1 of 3 games, I think, for the playoff race. Technically, there are some people that can still make it, but I'm pretty sure 5-5 should be able to make playoffs. Obviously, 5-5 is nothing to like brag about, but like 2 of the games in the season I got pretty unlucky, and the first game was pretty much like just like this game, except like the timer thing just tilted both of us here. So anyways, that is it. Check out Joey. Thank you for watching. Peace.